What is the funniest thing you overheard from another player's mic while playing a game online? I was playing I think COD or something and I hear this kid go, "Mom, did you see that? I sniped him." And the mom goes, "That's great. Did you put lotion on your ashy ass elbows?" Charlie, don't you dare chew the ducking cable. Don't you dare. Stop. 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 Spit the ducking cable out, Charles. I think what I presume to be the cat didn't let go of the cable. Edit. The game was Overwatch. One time after beating a kid at a match on Counter-Strike, he kept yelling 1v1 me noob and hurling other insults at me. The kid was definitely only 11-12 years old. Anyways, I added him so we could 1v1, and while sitting in the pre-game lobby I heard his mother come in and start yelling at him to go to bed. He refused to turn off the PC. Then I heard his mother walk towards the PC and turn it off. He was immediately disconnected. I was laughing so hard the whole time. A guy in my Overwatch party was taking bong rips all night, claiming it made him play better. We had pushed the payload almost to the end on our turn, but we were losing ground extremely fast. They pushed us to the second checkpoint on Gibraltar, when the guy says hold up and goes completely AFK in spawn. From the mic we hear the loudest, most drawn out bong rip that I have ever heard in my life. It just lasted like 90 seconds. He came back and proceeded to frag out hard, my of all characters, and basically held the enemy team in spawn the rest of the game. After that we went on one of those night-long winning streaks and I finally hit diamond. I never found Weed Seagull again, but I couldn't have done it without him. I was playing a quick play game of Overwatch, and there was some kid getting yelled at by his mom that dinner was ready. It was a shouting match of her telling him to get off the game, and him telling her he'd only be a minute. Then he full on screamed at her and disconnected. This was followed by one guy on mic, who had been silent the entire game, bursting out laughing. I heard an adult get mad at his mom for putting the wrong cheese on his sandwich. I was playing Rocket League and some guy told me he was going to take a bath with my dad. I've never laughed so hard. I was once playing NHL with a couple friends. Our randomly filled teammate was probably about a 14 or 15-year-old kid. We then hear an older woman's voice, presumably his mother, in the thickest Boston accent I've ever heard. "Wash ya duckin' hands, Teddy. 2 pumps of soap. Don't break the duckin' container." Overheard a mom shout from a teammate's audio, "Mom, we're going out to get breakfast." Kid, "No, I'm in the middle of a game." "Mom, we're going to McDonald's." Awesome kid 69 left the game. I was trash talking this team on Black Ops 2 back in the day. I said you live in your mom's basement and my mom walked into my room at that very moment and said you will too if you don't get those grades up. I was 14. Edit. This really had to be my highest upvoted comment. On a TF2 server close to when Fallout 4 was gonna be released, some guy had a tabletop record player and some original records that had some of the songs from Fallout on them, and while he was playing Atom Bomb Baby for the millionth time he knocked the record player off his desk and everyone in the server heard it basically explode on the poor man's floor. He sounded like he was gonna cry afterwards. My husband goes around singing, "You have food, you have water, what the duck is your problem?" Our goofy Maine Coon kitty is a complete chowhound, but loves when my husband sings to him. So when my husband sings this, the kitty chimes in with him. Well, one night I'm doing a WoW raid and I was explaining a strat when my husband starts singing this in the kitchen. He was loud enough that everyone on the mic heard it and burst out laughing. Shortly after that, someone asked the mage to drop a table and a feast. So he responded by saying, "You have food and water. WTF is your problem?" which led to everyone bursting out in laughter again. This guy's girlfriend asked him if she should order him pizza. He said, "Do I ducking look Italian to you?" So not overheard, but I remember an incident about myself. When I was 12 I got to raid ZG in World of Warcraft for the first time with my guild. It was also the first time I used Ventrilo TS and didn't know about the push to talk mechanic, so my mic was on the whole time. My mom asked me from downstairs what I wanted on my sandwich, so I yelled back really loud, "Liverpust with mayonnaise and cucumber," in Norwegian. And oh my god, I scared the shit out of my guildies. Some other Norwegian guy in the guild could not stop laughing for the whole raid. It was in a Call of Duty Ghosts Infection lobby. There were multiple little kids trash talking each other throughout the whole game. Then somebody called the Great Scott joined and infected one of the kids. Then they all ganged up on him saying that they hoped he choked on his haggis. Then he comes on the mic and in the most stereotypical Scottish accent possible, casually says "feck off lads or I'll shove me haggis up ye bollocks." Laddie, I was nearly crying throughout the next match. Back in the days of Halo 2, guy I played with regularly was Asian. We were trash talking, as 15-year-olds will, when I heard this sharp slapping sound, followed by the dude logging out. Turns out his mom heard our trash talk and used her flip-flop to wallop the back of his head. First time I heard it, followed by many more when we were up too late. I was playing COD and a player was helping his son with his homework. He was having a hard time explaining why multiplying by 0 equals 0, so I plugged in my mic and told the guy how to explain it simply. It was like Cyrano de Bergerac. I'd say a sentence to the guy in his headset and he'd parrot it to the kid. I also love when I hear people talk to what I assume are their pets on mic. Not me, but I remember something on the lines of, "If you win 5-0 at FIFA I will give you head." The opponent heard it and ran 3 goals in his own net. Thanks for the silver. The only online game I've ever played is Fortnite, and I only started playing that because my little nephew wanted me to duo with him as he has nobody else to play with regularly. I was bad though, so I started playing squad fill on my own to try and improve so I could actually help my nephew when we play. Early hours of one morning I got paired up with a couple of guys who sounded like they were talking Arabic, so I just stayed quiet. Then a young kid joined, maybe about 14 or so, and started trying to talk to the other two. He went through a whole list of languages, asking them if they spoke English, Spanish, Italian, German, and the two guys said no each time. Finally the kid asked them if they spoke French and one of them said yes. The kid spoke a few sentences in French and after a slight pause one of the guys replied with a baguette. I laughed. The kid left. One of the guys said AWW the weak cunt left. Turns out they were both Scottish. It was funny, but it didn't half make me feel kind of dumb. Listen to this young kid who speaks all these languages and me barely know English. I'm too late and this will get buried, but no game will drag you out of party chat and into game chat like Sea of Thieves. One night we had a few ships alliance up over a few hours. Very chill and having a good time. Until we get some dumb middle schooler in the chat. He keeps his chill for all of maybe 10 minutes before he drops. "Hey, how old do you guys think I am?" I said, young enough to ask that question, which got a lot of laughs. He then told us he was 14, used a racial slur, and told us he hated gay people. Over the course of the next few minutes, nobody kicked or blocked him. Instead we all talked about how glad we were that we didn't have online chat when we were his age. Because everyone is a ducking idiot when they are 14, and we also would have said and done stupid it thinking we were cool. But actually telling everyone that we are immature and close-minded and really just ducking dumb. We all shared anecdotes about stupid things we said or believed as teenagers. He got really quiet and then got very polite. We ended up playing with him for several hours. Then at the end somebody remarked that they didn't realize you can't change your character after creation and they wished they had picked a different one. To which this girl shouts, "You're telling me I'm stuck playing as this fattest grandma?" And sure enough, her character was indeed a fattest grandma. Sea of Thieves. So many laughs with strangers. I overheard these two guys on Siege talking about Red Dead, and this one guy said, "I named my horse after the Super 90 shotgun," and just yelled YEEEEHAAWWW as hard as he could. I was the one saying it over a live mic. Husband and I were cooking meal prep lunches when I had to leave for my raid. I was talking something through before a fight when my husband came into the office with a fork full of food for me to try. I moved my head away a few times and he kept getting closer and closer with the fork until I finally said, "I don't want it in my mouth right now." Guild waited a half second before losing it. We had to take a 10-minute break. Not mine, but my friend's story. She was playing PUBG with a bunch of random people and one of the dude's mom goes, "Are you talking to a girl?" The most dramatic voice, and then he disappeared. The other dude went like, "Oh man, let's pray for his soul." I used to play Halo 3 with a group of my social worker buddies. Whenever we would get an angsty kid yelling at the game, we would turn it into a counseling session, teaching anger management techniques, finding out what was behind the rage, encouraging them to rethink life decisions. I'd like to think we helped a lot of people. Edit. Thank you for the gold, kind stranger. American girl, attempting to wrangle our raid into some semblance of order so we can get started. UK friend. Oh, you're a proper cunt, aren't ya? American girl goes ducking crazy, and that day he learned how offensive the word cunt is to a lot of American women. LMAO. While playing WoW, a guildmate from Trinidad screamed that his neighbor's monkey was spinning on his ceiling fan, peeing everywhere. It was truly glorious. I was playing a game of Dead or Alive 4 and multiple people were in the lobby. This guy in usual fashion starts trash talking one of the other guys, and all of a sudden both of them somehow get their girlfriends involved in this online argument on a headset. It was pretty hilarious listening to two women compare their man's D sizes, which is completely irrelevant to the situation. Lol. I was playing Fortnite with a squad of fandoms, playing with a kid who's been talking the entire game. No one is responding. A mom, I'm assuming, starts yelling at this kid in our squad on Fortnite. Mind you, he's probably 10-12 years old. I hear in a stern voice, Jason, turn off your Xbox right now. He whines. We are almost done. Can I finish this game? She says if you don't turn it off now, no Xbox for a week. Door slams. Jason goes, fudge it. He stays on and we come in 7th. Jason is a legend. Back in the Halo 2 days, there was the proximity mic feature, where you could hear an opposing player's mic if you were near them when they spoke. Team Slayer one night on Coagulation, I hijacked an enemy player's ghost. Remember how awesome it was doing that, as I kicked the dude out and stole his ghost. The kid shouted at me, "Go eat a cheeseburger, you fat Irishman," and then silence. As I turned around and killed him. I was stunned but hilariously amused at the same time. That was 2005 and I still giggle about his crackly voice screaming that random it at me. I was in a game with two friends and one of them called me a cumlord for stealing a kill. There was a 3-second pause and then the other one said Ositis I, the Lord of Cum, in a high-pitched voice, and we just lost it. A guy's drunk wife talking loud enough in the background for us to hear her about how she made the id out of some sourdough bread. Those were her exact words. She was all, "Yo, I know your online friends can hear me. I bet they're jealous of this bomb sourdough. They can suck my D." Was dealing with a real tough mic bad boy onks go matchmaking. Rude, racist, griefing, etc. Just your typical gold Nova puppy, but all of a sudden we hear a baby crying in the background of his mic. Someone tells him to go take care of his ducking child and the whole match becomes just us answering him with unsolicited fatherhood tips. Doing a raid with a few randoms, I hear a dude talking to his kid say yes daddy is playing game with friends. Then all I heard was PS4 beep and him saying oh duck notter. Cut off and leaving the game and party chat. Legit was so ducking funny. When he eventually joined back up he explained his little kid loves turning off his PS4. My friend heard some guy singing Coldplay while playing Call of Duty, so he recorded it and put the instrumental music in the background. It's actually quite beautiful. Here's the result. Harry, no. I know you want it but it's not cheese. I was playing Minecraft years ago with 3 other friends when one of them said they would be right back. Turns out he was going to piss, but kept his headset on and didn't mute the mic. We heard him the entire piss and we were all dying laughing. My BF was doing a group game stream thing. I think it makes sense looking at the story. In the middle of a game there is a sudden high-pitched shriek and a lot of oh my goddess. Turns out one of the team members forgot that he had set his screen to share and was happily looking at dragon dildos, and only noticed his hoopsie daisy 15 minutes or so into his little shopping spree. Some dude was watching the final of season 3 got in the background, and was only just starting season 2, so I had the whole red wedding spoiled for me while playing BF3. If you don't clutch this siege game for your team, then we aren't having that threesome we talked about. He clutched it and got an ace. A guy doing a very posh British accent rallying the team. I heard him say, "Hey you, come with me and the boys. You're not going to hit it from back there," while still doing a voice, and it seemed so off it was great. On an old EQ server I unintentionally listened to an entire breakup over his raiding habits and his inability to pay attention to her. Pretty cringy. Felt bad for the bro, but she seemed to have been solidly fed up. RIP in peace. Playing TF2 with a random group of people, and our team isn't doing great. Someone joins the server and immediately starts yelling and screaming, saying remarks that made me instantly believe he was in the military and from the south. What the duck are y'all doing? Get your thumbs out of her butts and get your it together. He was playing as a medic, and there was another medic on the team. You saucy sonitch, why the duck are you healing me? I'm a goddamn medic. I'm about to spin you around by your little shoestring D and toss you back to 3rd grade. There were various other comments made, all of which sounded like Leomi in Full Metal Jacket. I was dying. Playing COD. You sod this. I'm going for a wank. The last thing I heard that I can remember was this dude's dog barking incessantly and people telling him to shut it up. Someone asked what it wanted and he said attention, then they said to go give it attention and he said PFFFT no. Like, why have a dog if you're just gonna let it bark while you game for hours and hours on end? I was in a squad filled with 2 guys in Fortnite that both had mics. No idea who they were in person. There's a black guy with friends over and he's yelling, and there's a Mexican guy who can't understand English. The black guy calls his friends the N-word and then the Mexican guy, like a 4-year-old learning how to speak, repeats back in the best English he can. I and also and you. And I know it isn't really too funny, but the idea of him not knowing what it means made me die. In my WoW guild, we have a married couple in our raid group. They are parents and a lot of the other people in our guild are olderish guys. Single guys. Younger ones. One night we are raiding and mid-pull we hear the mom yell into her mic accidentally, "Hey, it's almost time for bed, you better have taken a shower and put your games away," in the most mom voice you've ever heard. A lot of people in our raid were ready to log off and go shower out of fear. Back when COD Modern Warfare 2 came out, I used to play with the same group of people all the time. One of the guys was a huge stoner that lived with his girlfriend. He used to tell us about how fat she was constantly. He was a chubby chaser. Well, one night we all got online and during a match, he just started going ballistic on this girl. Apparently, he had made himself a fully loaded bagel before the match started, and during the match he managed to sneak it away from him without him knowing and ate it. I'm not condoning fat shaming people, but that was the most hilarious rant I've ever heard. TLDR, stoner friend of mine yelled at his bagel stealing chubby girlfriend. My friend was ducking, freaking out on the mic. I thought he was getting mad at someone in the game, but it didn't make a whole lot of sense. He would be like, "Duck off, no, don't ducking do that. Ah, you ducking cheeky bastard. You absolute ducking asshole. Don't. God damn it." And I asked him what the duck was going on and he said, "My cat drank my ducking milk." If you guys don't stop dying, I'm gonna it on my dog. I wasn't masturbating. Then what were you doing? I was just watching porn. That's still not okay. And neither is having sex on the kitchen table, but you did IT last night. A kid getting the it beat out of it. On a MMO we all hopped into a clan Skype channel. This dude was one of those that didn't use push to talk, which in of itself isn't bad, but was using a mic and speakers. Anyway, his parents didn't want him using a headset as he couldn't hear them if they called, and the background noise was always terrible. One day, his little sister was apparently doing something she wasn't supposed to, and the parents were screaming bloody murder and throwing out the kind of obscenities that I, admittingly a sailor, would think twice about using at other adults. Then the beatings and her screaming like she was dying. It was terrible, and dude face just keep talking and playing through it as if it was normal. Doped out of there and never went back. I was playing some fill squads in PUBG and someone on my team left his headset on open mic and was yelling at his mom that he didn't like pasta because she wanted him to get off to eat, but he wanted to keep playing. Okay, finally I can share this with the world. When I was a teenager, My friends and I were playing Halo 3 on Xbox Live. One friend, we'll call him Jay, decided he needed to eat. He politely informed us that he was going to get some food. We say alright, that's cool, and we hear him take off the headset, but not mute it. We hear the headset hit the desk, then we hear him yell, "Mum, put a sausage roll in the microwave." Then he puts the headset back on and declares he's back. We were all pissing ourselves laughing. We all drifted apart as the years went on, but Jay is still one of my best friends, and I'll never let him live it down. If you're reading this, dude, you know who I am and you're going to hear about it till the end of time. Also hurry up and pick up your Christmas gift, dude. It's been in my cupboard for like 2 weeks now. We used to play with this 14-year-old kid. His mum came in and yelled at him, "It is past your bedtime, go to bed now." As we were all laughing, he said to his mum that his friends can't win without him. We were playing League of Legends. He was our ADC, and his mother came over and said, "These aren't your real friends. You don't even have friends at school." This hurt us all so bad that we were extra nice to him the next days. Full stop. I swear to God, kid, if you team flash me one more time, I'm going to toss your salad and make you like it. Not me, but this guy being affectionate with his cat. I was playing COD Black Ops or MW2 with my roommates. This kid's mom, in a southern accent, yells at him, "Get off the online. I need to use the phone." We were in tears. We still quote her from time to time all these years later. One time when I was playing Overwatch late at night, a guy asked the team, "Hey, do you guys like cheesecake?" To which a couple of people replied yeah and yes. Then someone asked, "What type of flavor do you like?" To which the original guy replied, "Cheese flavored, you ducking idiot." Competitive Overwatch might shatter my spirit and deteriorate my sanity, but it's little weird moments like that which make it all worth it. Back when Modern Warfare 2 came out, I was playing multiplayer like mad, but every once in a while a hacker would come on and do some wacky shit in our matches. One night, this one guy comes in named Potter here and in the East English accent said, "I'm Harry Potter. You shall all be granted the maximum prestige." Bibbidi bobbidi, everyone got disconnected. I shut off my PS3 and turned it back on. Lo and behold, I had everything unlocked and was still at like level 50. Still have all that unlocked and still play every once in a while. Thanks, Harry. I would call your aim cancer, but cancer kills people in an FPS. I was in a group of about 10 folks in an MMO, just running quests together. One of the group members logged off, but apparently forgot that his vent mic was hot. We all got to listen to him having sex with his girlfriend. The most interesting message was a group member who suddenly typed into chat, "Our free on board is under mortar fire. Gotta go." It was over a week before we heard from him again. Needless to say, for that week we were all worried he might have been killed. He was stationed in Iraq, if I remember correctly. This was about a decade ago. Was playing Worms Armageddon with a bunch of blokes from the UK. New guy joins our vent server and we got to hear his mom scold him on his grades and hear the smack of her hand on his ass as she beat him. Moral of the story is always mute your mic when it is going down. I was in an old Xbox Live party mid-game when we heard something like echo the hissing cutting in and out of someone's mic followed by, "Dude, are you peeing? What? You can hear me?" A whole crowd of naked men running in a conga line to Filthy Frank's Balls and Roast. In CSGO I was doing warm up in DM and this one Russian guy had a really itty mic which made him sound just like a robot Lomeo. So he starts raging and says in his robot voice, "Fuaking biaich. Then ensued a lengthy and heated monologue in Russian lol.